Nanzaje Sarah Olekwabi Niko Olekwabi Niko Sikame Never ever give up Sikame Never ever give up Mungu will bless our ways. Mungu will bless our ways. Nico, Nico, Nico. Answer my Nico, Nico, Nico. Sick of me, never ever give up. Sick of me, never ever give up. Our Lord God will bless our ways. Our Lord God will bless our ways. Nico, handsome man.
Hi everyone. Hello, welcome everybody. When you get here, just say hello to me. Then I know you're on. I'm aiming to target like about 3 or 4 people. Then we start off. So today, I've chosen a really controversial topic. I don't know what Facebook or any of these platforms think about it. So we'll just wait and see. Okay, say hello to me. Do me that favor and say hello to me. So, and then if you could tag your friends, that would be great. It's kind of lonely here today. I don't have any guests, so it's just me and you. So say hello to me, please. Say hello to me. Tell me where you're joining me from. Okay. Let me see who else I can tell. Okie dokie. If I've tagged you twice, just pardon me. What names am I looking for? So just say hello to me. Then you can start. Okay. Hi. I'm seeing there's somebody on there. Just say hello. That would be great. That would be nice. This happens to me every time. Once I'm on trying to tag people, it becomes a nightmare. All the names just slip my mind. So hi. Today I'm going to talk about mind-altering techniques, drugs, drinks. I don't know that it's a topic you're conversant with. I just don't want to start yet until I tag people, until at least somebody says hello. Yeah, that would be great. How are you doing this Wednesday? Another week. The year's just like in a rush. Unbelievable. I'm streaming on like 3 platforms. So yeah. If I tag you more than once, just forgive me. So say hello to me, please. Then we can start. Tell me where you're joining me from, what you're up to this evening, doing anything interesting. For us, it's winter coming, nothing exciting. Christmas things are already up. You're seeing the shops, they're already putting up Christmas gifts and stuff. Crazy. So hi, just do me a favor and say hello. I won't bite, I promise. I promise not to bite. Yeah. Then you can start. Okay, at least time, Mombasa, Kenya. Here from Mombasa, Kenya. I can't see who that is, but karibu and thank you. Yeah, when you say hello like that, it gives me sad. So What do you know about mind altering stuff? What do you know about it? What do you understand when you talk about mind altering stuff? So, you know what? You're living in like a very busy world, crazy, all sorts of things are readily available nowadays, and people are discovering the power of the mind. It's become the new thing. You know, everybody wants to be like a neuroscientist or understand how the mind works. And it's so interesting because we're just learning that we don't know so much about the mind. And a lot of us like can't break through certain patterns, certain habits, you know, so we end up like finding help. And some people are making good, making good use of it. Some people are having professional help, you know, like a professional advising them on what to do, how to do it. But we also have some people who are doing shortcuts and maybe ending up doing it the wrong way and ending up maybe possibly damaging your mind. So I don't know when you're born and what you know, but back in the days, I think like 80s or something. Welcome. Welcome. I also can't see who that is, but Karibu. Once that is said, yeah, welcome. So, like back in the 80s, when our parents started discovering these like drugs and stuff, then the people who discovered that it was making them so happy and hyper, but at the same time, there's some people who had like depression, you know, suicidal thoughts, you know, the negative side of it. And some people ended up taking out their lives or doing really drastic things. And then all over the world, all those things got banned, like almost everywhere. Welcome, Alice, Karibu. Alice, you know, as usual, I'll put you in the spot. So I want you to tell me what you understand by mind altering stuff. So back in those days, a lot of countries banned these things, but there's some countries that still legalize them. It's legal. You can use some of these things, you know. It just depends where you are. So my first question is, what do you know about mind altering stuff? So what do I mean? That's maybe we start from there. Uh, um, at least I'm waiting for you. You know, like some people think like can put alcohol, can categorize alcohol as being one of those things, you know, because when you are intoxicated and feeling, most people feel merry, but not all, but some people end up fighting, but you can't make sound decisions during those times. Not really, not everyone. Like that's why they don't allow people to drive during those times. But things like alcohol, they're just like a certain period of time. And for a lot of people, you kind of still aware of yourself, and it's just like a temporary solution to just have fun now. But we also have Atisinamaoni, but we also have you do. But we also have some other things like if I say techniques, things like meditation, you know, those deep kind of meditation. People have used those to alter their mind, to change their mind so that they're like start probably like new habits and stuff. But there's also another category, the drugs. So and they're becoming so popular nowadays, and you just Google, you go to YouTube, there's so many videos teaching you about all those things, you know, and there's so many categories. So when I'm talking about mind altering like drugs, usually people like go and use those stuffs, and then they go into a different state. Some people like connect with different dimensions, some people connect spiritually, so it's different for everybody. So I still would like somebody to tell me what they understand with those. And you see that in milder circumstances, we've seen students like using some of these things to study. Yeah, they use those things so that they don't need to sleep, and they just have so much energy to study the whole night, transnighting and stuff. So those are some of the things that I understand with mind altering stuff, try techniques, you know, and drinks. So I was hoping I'll base a lot of our talk today on the like more on the drugs. Why? A lot of people are asking, is it Christian? Is it spiritual? Are we allowed? I'm a Christian. Okay, at least I have a Christian background, you know. So I want us to engage and talk. Let's talk. Do you think it's wrong? The government says it's wrong. Do you think it's wrong? Because maybe your government says it's wrong. Do you think it's biblically wrong? Okay. Um, when you say drug, the first thing that comes to my mind, yeah, I know, because it's the most popular and it's the most misused as well. But again, it's kind of mostly readily available. But for me, yeah, I know a lot of people when they hear drugs, just think of cannabis and stuff. For me, yeah, that comes into mind. But when I talk about mind altering stuff, yeah, it is part of it. But I know how is it pronounced? Ayahuasca. Where nowadays people go for like spiritual trips and have like a shaman or is that what they're called? Helping them into their spiritual journey. So they use all those stuff so that they enter a state that they wouldn't enter in their normal mind. With all the noise in the world, we're always worried about one thing or another. Worried about work tomorrow, worried about the children, worried about that. But those things like kind of center you and bring you back into that moment, and you focus on the like things that are bothering you or things that you never like dealt with. So let me give you an example. There are some particular ones that people use to like go and find the actual problem in your head or in your body or in your life. And when they do that, it quiets you and you concentrate on that particular thing, and it can take you even to childhood trauma that you never even knew you had. Yeah. So is it biblical? Is it spiritual? Do you believe that we should do it or we shouldn't do it? That is my main question. That is what I want us to talk about. Come on, guys. Help me here. I wanted it to be interactive. So you tell me what you think, and then we keep the discussion going. Because life is about learning. Please refer to them as psychedelics so that they don't think it's just getting high. I just threw my data. I just wanted people to like take whatever direction they want with it for now, and then we filter it. But if you call them psychedelics, okay, I think majority of us will start thinking of it on a spiritual level and start thinking, okay, maybe they're not that bad. But I don't know who else has an opinion about that. But when it comes to psychedelics, what do you think about them? What do you think about psychedelics? What do you think about? I know I'll be in trouble with Facebook now. I don't know whether I need to use code words. I don't know whether they allow these. Facebook will be on my case now. So, what do you think about them? I didn't want to give a personal opinion and maybe my complete thoughts before having like some different kind of views on this. Alice, I miss you. You should have been here. What do you think about psychedelics? Let's have like an open discussion. I don't want to influence somebody yet or anything like that. I just wanted to have like an open discussion. Most of us grew up in this like religious families, so some of these things we used to think about and they're like, nah, can't do it. Okay. Who else is on there? So when it comes to psychedelic, let me put it this way. Let me say this. First, how old are you and why are you seeking it? What do you know about it? How much do you know about it? Those are the first things one has to ask themselves, I know a lot, not everything, but I know a lot because I've been like reading about them and watching stuff about them for a long time now. And I've always been interested in things, those things that people don't talk about much. I have that curious mind, and I would like to know if it's wrong, why is it wrong? I am that kind of curious person. But again, I was brought up as a Christian, and as a Christian, we know that we have to obey the laws of our land. If the laws of our land say that's wrong, then you're not supposed to do it. Yeah. where you are. Yeah, if it says you're not supposed to do it, then you're not supposed. Then you shouldn't do it. But here you are, a Christian. You've done your research about things like psychedelics and stuff, and you want to go there and just like maybe sort some things in your life, whether it's childhood trauma, whether you know about them or you don't. Maybe you're always an angry person, or maybe you're trying to change your life and you're always hitting like a wall, a brick wall. You're like, I know I can do this, but how comes I can't go through this? So some people do that, they go through these things so that they discover what the problem is and what the problem is. So personally, because I'm a curious person, I would see, but breaking the law, trauma, or break the law? That is the question. So, I'm seeing somebody else who that I mind helping Alice here. Alice is saying, good question for reflection. So we want to know, what do you think about psychedelics? What are they actually? What are they? I'm seeing Alice here. Alice, help us with that. What does Google say, or what do you know? Because when you talk about mind altering stuffs in general, then there are people who have like mental problems, so they go to the doctor, whether it's just to help them calm down. Let's say if you have ADHD or something, whether it's help you with moods, those are still categorized. But when it comes to psychedelics, some of us have like a warm spot for them because of what we've seen them do to people. We've seen them being used well with the natives of like the Amazon, with South American and stuff. We see them make people in Mexico using them like for their spiritual journey, using them well. And I believe us as African also, I believe that we had them, but I'm not so sure what we really actually had, whether they were the rooms. I don't want to use some of those words. And I'm not so sure whether I'm getting into trouble with Facebook rules and YT rules. So yeah, so I believe in Africa we also had them because our grandmas, we saw them using like eating some stuff like tobacco kind of stuff. We saw that the people that were called witches like burning stuff. So I believe in Africa we did have them, but we don't see our culture anymore, so we don't know. Nobody passed that down to us. Yeah, back to our question. What do you think about psychedelics? I was hoping this to be interactive, so there's no right or wrong answers, and I'm hoping that we'll just learn together. Are we breaking any laws? Are we going the wrong way as Christians, when we try these things or engage in these things? So that we got the definition of the psychedelic. So psychedelic drug, also called psychotomimetic drug or hallucinogen. Any of the so-called mind-expanding drugs that are able to induce states of altered perception and thought, frequently with heightened awareness of sensory input, but with diminished control over what is being experienced. What a wonderful definition, because that just tells you that, they don't sound that bad. They're not so bad. I like that definition completely. So, what? I want to say this because I'm just saying that we're not participating together and we're not bringing different inputs to this. And to say this, you know what? If you are curious and want to experiment with anything, know what it is and do it in a safe environment with people who know what they're doing. And why are you doing it? Are you doing it just for fun? That's where we go wrong. Because if you try something for fun and you don't know what kind of altered states it gives you, what kind of reaction you get, that's when we get all these incidents where people do all these bad things that to make others like be scared of some of these things. But I want to believe that some of these things have really helped people, and in a way that like therapy might not be able to do, because sometimes therapy, you go there, you try to talk about things that you don't remember completely, your childhood traumas and stuff. and you try to go on to these things, but you don't know what you're actually dealing with. And every time you open one door, you realize there's another door every time. And there's so much noise too. And it's somebody else who's trying to like, okay, tell me about this, tell me about this. But some of those things, you hit them so deep inside of you that you can't remember. You can't remember. I didn't expect me to be sharing my story, but I recently let me put it in quotes, discovered that I had like some trauma that I needed to deal with. And I never thought it affected me. I never thought it was something that I was bothered by. I was telling myself, it's something that happened to me in childhood. It wasn't my fault. Um, why is it my fault? Why am I supposed to forgive somebody who was like older than me, an adult who did me wrong, and I have no clue over it? I didn't have control over it. I can't recall the incident. I didn't even know the thing affects me. I didn't think it affects me. Something that, oh, okay, that happened to me. Oh, that was so shit. And then you forget and live your life. I stop at the last part of the definition, the loss of control. How do you mean you stop at loss of control? Okay, what was the definition? So-called. Okay, loss of control. I'll just expound what you mean, but yeah, people can lose control, but mostly, for me, how I understand it is you lose control of the world as you know it, what we know, the physical world as we see it. And for this properly done psychedelic journeys, in safe environment with the right kind of people, um, you get guided into what you need to deal with. You get guided into the problem. It's not about just going there and you just being, don't know what you're doing, having fun or whatever. You're being helped. And then during that time, whatever you meet that is traumatizing or anything, these people are there. The safe environment is meant to help you stay together. And it's not like losing control as such. It's being in your conscious level, in your consciousness, in the subconscious level. And that's where the ego sometimes lies, where we try to hide all these things about our life with ego. So like therapy, you might be too embarrassed. Normal mainstream therapy, you might be too embarrassed to tell your therapist some things that happened to you. Let's say, for instance, somebody physically abused you, sexually abused you when you are younger. And maybe you were at that time that when your body was changing. This is a really loose example, it doesn't affect me. And because I've been talking to a lot of people and I hear a lot of stories, people open up to you and share some things with you. And say for instance, that happens to you where somebody sexually abuses you. And then, because your body was also changing, you kind of think that you enjoyed it, or you kind of think that you didn't try to make them stop. So you are embarrassed. You think like, okay, that's not something I need to tell my therapist. But you're not, because you're not talking about it. You're not dealing with it. So the therapist can only go as much. That's why some people end up in therapy for so many years and having sorted nothing, or just unleashing more and more stuff. You see, unleashing more and more stuff. You're not completely sorting things. But when you use these altered states, when you use these kind of things to like take you into this kind of journey or trip, then it means that there's no escaping. If you come face to face with 4-year-old you, in that conscious level, if you come face to face with that 4-year-old you and the things that happen to you, you got to deal with that. You got to try and sort it. You got to have that conversation. Okay, what is it that actually happened to me and what is happening? I didn't want to influence this conversation at all. I wanted it to be interactive. Mark me in. Mark you in. Wow. I would like to see the people, because you didn't give Streamer the permission to use your name, so I can't see who it is. I'm seeing Rose, you're there. Rose, you're a Christian, I believe, isn't it? I've seen your songs and stuff. Rose, tell me, do you think it's wrong for us to try and engage in this thing? Do you think we're like doing something that maybe won't please God? So back to my story, So I realized that there were things I needed to sort, things I wasn't even aware existed in me, things that I didn't realize that were happening to me, and I had to face it. And I kept on like trying not to face it, kept on brushing it off, telling myself, you know what? Nah, it doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me then. I already forget and forgot it. Why should you bring it up? But no, kept on coming, kept on coming. And my healing, I only found my healing when I accepted that, you know what? That happened to you. It shouldn't have. It was wrong. I'm forgiving myself. I'm forgiving that other person, and I'm finding my healing. And since then, I felt lighter and lighter. A lot I did not I carried in me. Absolutely light. Absolutely. Like you feel like you've been given a new lease for life. So, Rose, I was asking you something. Do you think, as like Christians, is it wrong for us to try some of these things? Is it wrong? Is it wrong? For me, I'll say if you're under 21, please, please, please don't experiment with anything. Don't experiment with your life. Those that your life is just beginning. Don't experiment with anything. Yeah. But the things you could try, the things that are helpful, and there's lots of proof that they help, are things like meditation, yoga. Those are fine, they've helped so many people. I can't emphasize it enough. I've seen what yoga has done to me. Meditation, actually, I don't do a lot of yoga meditation. So yeah, I've seen it, and it's something I really encourage. And also, that one makes me want to ask another question. Back in the days, we used to be told meditation is wrong. Do you think meditation is wrong? We used to be told that it's linked to the devil. I don't know, it's like devil worship and stuff. What do you think about meditation? That one, I'm happy to completely disagree with. Completely disagree with. Just because the Bible encourages quieting your mind. Quiet your mind, be still and know I am God. 100%. Be still and know I am God. And I am God. So for me, I would say, you know what? If you're trying something, and at the end of the day, it's not for your ego. At the end of the day, it's for your like your spiritual journey. You want to be a better person. You're trying to be a better person in this universe. I'm saying, you know what? You have good intentions. You have good intention. And I'm seeing my life changing every single day, where I'm becoming a better person, where I can easily like accept fault, easily apologize. Even the anger, like you can feel the anger completely gone. You can feel that pain that you never even knew you had completely go. So yeah. So, guys, today's discussion, if you're just joining today's discussion, you're asking, what do you think about mind altering stuff, whether it's substances, whether it's drugs, uh, liquids, alcohol or something, um, um, techniques, what do you think about it? But one of us went straight to it. They said, you know what, when you use drugs, it sounds like, like just like sitting down smoking some weed, so we prefer to just call it by what it is, psychedelics, and we also defined it. So if you're just joining, that's what we're talking about. That's a confusing question. Hypnosis is just like meditation. It's just meditation, but you're guided. Somebody's guiding you through it. Psychedelics, on the other hand, are just things that you would probably consume. I need help with that. Yeah, psychedelic are probably things you would consume to have altered states. So hypnosis, yes, it gives you an altered state, but somebody's guiding you and helping you through it. I've done hypnosis; it's amazing. It's amazing. But I did it back in the days when a friend of mine was learning about it, and they wanted to practice, and I was like, "Yeah, come on, practice on me." And it happened that by that time I was really unwell, and I think it helped save my life. It helped save my life because I could concentrate on my healing. I could concentrate on the positive side. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not too sure I understand that question. Is Ali still there? She helps with that. So I don't think hypnosis is psychedelic. I don't, because if you read what the definition you are told here is, this one she specified the drug, also called psychotomimetic drug, and hallucinogen. Any of the so-called mind-expanding drugs that are able to induce states of altered perception and thought, frequently with heightened awareness of sensory input with diminished control over what is being experienced. By the way, about the awareness of sensory input, a lot of people do say about that things smell differently. If it's food, it tastes like better, like it has deeper taste. If it's colors, everything like look like, we just see colors as what we are taught in school, but you start seeing colors, maybe like the birds, you start seeing like deeper and deeper colors. um Hi, following from Netherlands. I love your country and and your country, unless I'm giving wrong information, it's one of the few countries in the world that allow people to use some things in a safe environment. I know absolutely this for a fact. Zurich, the city, you can go there and go to somebody like clinics and go there, and they know what kind of measure is good for you and the quantity and everything, and so you're using something in the right quantity. And that is really important, and I think if so many countries can emulate that, it will be amazing. Because what I noticed about Zurich, the people walking around, like 80% of the population look happy, 90% of the people look happy. People are just like happy. I, I don't know whether I was just seeing what I wanted to see, but yeah, things when used in the right ways, they are helpful. So, Bill, my question was, let me have a drink. That's my friend's bottle. I need to give her back tomorrow. So my question was, is it okay as Christians or whatever you believe in? Is it okay for people to like experiment with these things? Not experiment, but use them, like for me, I'm saying, okay, I'm justifying it. I'm saying if you're the right age, like 20, 21 and over, and why am I saying 21? Because when you're under 21, your brain is still developing. Don't experiment with these things. Don't try too many things, you know? So you're 21 and over, yeah? You want to like reconnect with the spiritual journey, or you want answers why you having certain habits, certain patterns, why you having these blockages. You've tried finding your limiting beliefs, you've tried finding doing all this things, but there's still something you can't put your hand on it. So I'm saying if you're of age, you're doing it for the right reason, you are in the right country where it's not like illegal, should you or shouldn't you? Yeah, I thought so. I thought so about your Netherlands. I thought so. Yeah, it's about control allowed in the right quantity. Do you reckon people are happy in your country compared to a lot of other countries? Do you think it's a good thing, or you are like, okay, I'm in a country that allows it, but I don't think it's the right thing? Because I think a lot of us, a lot of the countries should copy that. We should really copy it. My own experience, I've passed through your country a lot, but my own experience is that these things should be allowed in right quantity, and people should come with the right reasons to do it. In Bristol here, just 40 minutes from my place now, they have a proper clinic, but you need 5K for that proper clinic, and experts, doctors, people who have done proper the mainstream qualification before they wanted to like um, go on and research more on the things that were researched before, and they discover that it's actually really helping people, actually really helping. Don't take my word for it, because I'm not trying to teach you anything here. Don't take my word for it. I want you to do your own research, and I want you to it has to feel right by you. Do your own research and come back and teach us what you learn. For me, I know anything I see that is like different and strange, I want to know more about it. I want to know more about it. So, Bill, do you think it's Christian for? Is it right that people committing any sort of sin when they try those things? Yeah. That is my question. Yeah, that is one of my questions actually. Do you think it is right? Yeah, hi guys. If you're joining, just say hello to me. We were just talking about mind altering substances, techniques, liquids and stuff, and the most common ones are psychedelic drugs. And I was just saying, I'm being careful here on Facebook. I didn't even want to list the types that are out there, what are out there, because I don't know what I'm committing, what I'm committing any Facebook crime right here. And so we are saying, you know what? People use them for guidance, to find out what's happening in their lives, those things that they can't find because of the noise in the world. You're always busy. There's Facebook here, there's social media there. There's always something that is, stopping us from finding the answers that are within us. Yeah. And hence my question, is it Christian? Yeah, is it Christian to try out and to use those things to sort your life? A lot of people can't afford therapy, so what are the alternatives out there? And you do the therapy, and the things you don't want to tell your therapist, it takes you a long time reaching that problem. It takes you a long time. So yeah, that was my question, and I'm not so sure we found any answer. I didn't want to influence your answer or anything, so I just wanted it to be interactive today. There's somebody I should have tagged. I would have really wanted that input, but I don't know where I'll find them. Has anybody got any questions? I can't tag them. I can't find them. Anybody with any question? What is it you'd have wanted to learn today? Because I was trying to avoid a lot of things, saying things that I shouldn't say on Facebook, unless we have a private session, just us. Um, Hi, one boy. You didn't say hello to me. Why is that? Hmm? Oh, you did. Um. Okay. Okay. Oh, you did. Sorry, my lovely. Yeah, a lot of people are scared about the loss of control. I don't see it that way. I know it's scary because, especially if you're a control freak. But hypothetically speaking, so that we say the right things here. Hypothetically speaking, you've got to maybe Mexico somewhere and you've met these spiritual leaders, and the spiritual leader knows the right amount, knows what to do, and knows how to help you. So they do all those things. So all you need to do, you as a person, is let go of your ego, let go of the control, so that you're guided, so that you join with Mother Nature, you join with God, and hear all the answers she has for you. When you're there, for you to heal and find your answers, you just got to let go. Or you won't benefit for it. You just have to let go. Let go of every noise of every ego. You don't need to be in control all the time. But again, you're looking at it as a Christian. God doesn't want us to be in control. God just wants us to trust Him. Trust Him to do everything. Trust Him to have answers. That's why you're asked to pray, believe, live it. Don't dwell on it like, oh, okay, God, I asked for this. Why hasn't it happened? No, you pray, believe, and then you just continue your life knowing that God will do it. But what do we do? Even us as Christians, we still want to control the outcome. We still want the answer as we want. Yeah. My take is, whether a Christian or not, is that do not start a fire that you cannot quench. Some things take you to a point of no return. For medication, yes, in the right quantity and under the direction and monitoring of a doctor. I think Kenyans are happier. My take. God will never judge you because of what you take or not. I like that. And Kenyans being happier, that could be true as well, because Kenyans are, like the spiritual or believers and religious and stuff. And our spiritual nature has taught us to just let go and let God. But when you come to like Europe and developed countries, that's when you're always worrying. There's no like concern about each other. But Kenyans genuinely happy, whether they have food or not. They just go to bed knowing that God, tomorrow will be better. God will do it again tomorrow. So I do like that view completely. My take is that it should not be a religious issue but personal. Also, we can handle more than we know. It just takes experience. Yeah, yeah, and I'm telling myself, you know what? If you are curious and God made you like that, or you just have a curious nature, and that things you want to do, you will do it. I don't think God will dwell on judging you. Is it leading you to Him? Are you focused on being a better person? Then yeah, on a personal level, yeah, I see it that way too. And we can never be given more than we can't handle. Absolutely right. I like that. I like them. I do not think it's because of religion. It's because of community culture. Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Okay. Maybe it's a cocktail of everything. Maybe it's a cocktail of everything. I find that developed countries we've just left. Um, Trusting in God completely. We want to be in control. We want to do everything ourselves. But back in the days, everything we just knew, okay, one day at a time. And that's the life I want, like completely one day at a time. At the end of the day, you want to lie down and you're like, thank you, thank you, thank you for seeing another day, for giving me another chance just to connect with the world, to have the human experience, to connect with my son and things like that. And then first thing in the morning, same thing. Curiosity killed the cat. No, but you cannot be a person who is not curious as well. Because how are you gonna learn? How are you gonna know things? You can't live your life being scared. You have to live your life in full. Once you rest, you know that you did everything with the life God gave you, so long as you use them in the right way. So curiosity killed the cat. Mm, Curiosity is good. That's the way to learn. I think it's one of those other things that we were lied to that are wrong, but it's good to be curious. It's good to be curious. And then just know yourself, how much you can handle. So, because I've gone further than I expected on that topic, I just wanted to kutembea tu juu because it's a deep topic, but it depends on the outcome today. Maybe someday we'll just open up and talk about it completely, like deeply. But for now, yeah, remember the things I said about age. A bit 21, let your brain mature and stuff, and use the right kind of people, and know, research, and do it. Safe environment, right kind of people. When you mentioned that curiosity killed the cat, I wanted to say something. Don't do things out of curiosity, actually. Just do them because you are for the right reasons, because you want to find answers, you want to reconnect with your God. And that's not the only way to do it, and it shouldn't be the way to do it. It should be like for good reasons, So yeah, so next time maybe if we want to talk about it deeply, and we can. Today, I just wanted to know what we all think about it as a Christian. As a Christian, I just think, you know what? Trust in God. He'll never give you what you cannot handle. So trust in God. Listen to that voice. Quiet your mind and listen. We all have answers within ourselves, but we're just too busy. It's too loud out here. So, and just listen to what God is telling you, and you'll be in the right path. That's what I'll say. I don't know that I've forgotten anything. Yeah, I'm not encouraging anything. I'm not telling you that. Oh no, I was just curious. I wanted to know where we're sat, because the world is changing now. Information is everywhere, and we need to know these things for our children, because very soon our children will be experimenting things and coming home, and you're like, if you don't have information and knowledge, what are you gonna teach them? What are you gonna show them? Yeah, so that's why it's really important to know these things. So your child comes home and tells you, "Oh, mom, another kid gave us this to try." You don't want to be like off guard. You want to have information and knowledge to know how to support them. Yeah. And you don't want to just tell your children things like curiosity killed the cat. They'll even go now. That's when they'll even do it. They'll just do it. You want to give them facts. You want to tell them why not, why what. You want to give them proper information. Or else they go online and do what? And do some mild research. Just go and check YouTube. You'll see how much information is on there. So much. And our kids are on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. I don't know whether there's anything you wanted to talk about today. Yeah, that was mainly what I wanted to talk about, and treading softly. uh, softly. Yeah, we don't want this to fall on wrong hands. We don't want children coming here and thinking. Actually, should have been a disclaimer from the beginning. This is not for the children at all. This is for us adults. Talking about life and sharing life and learning from each other, and knowing that what, when we talk and share, we heal together. Yeah, thank you. Is any question? Any question? Is that something we've not spoken about? Any question, guys? Any question? Yeah, I kind of enjoy talking about this, but it would be nice maybe having it on Zoom. Yeah. And we can share stories and then have invite 2 or 3 people and we share like proper stories. So yeah, asanteni sana. I don't know that you have any questions. I really appreciate you. Don't forget we do this every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, mkuze. We talk, we learn from each other. Yeah. We learn from each other. I'm not so sure we will completely got an answer, but I think this is the closest as possible. And I totally like that. My take is whether a Christian or not is that do not start a fire that you cannot quench. Some things take you to a point of no return. Yeah. Yes, you have to be ready. You have to know why. You have to do it in a safe environment. And we know people get addicted to some of these things, and that's why they're shunned, and that's why they're not encouraged. But the people who have used them for the right reason and found healing, and found what they were looking for. Thank you, my darling. I don't know whether you had any question, really. I know I didn't go anything. I was just trying to be. Yes, yeah. I didn't want to go any deeper than that today, but if we could do it on Zoom, then that would be fine. Yeah, thank you so much. Shall I say kwaheri then? Shall I say kwaheri? Thank you. More love. Oh, you're just joining. So the topic was is it Christian? Is it okay to use mind-altering stuff? And I had just put it in general, like techniques, like liquids or drinks, substances. But somebody did say, let's just call it what it is. So, and then because I was also using the word drugs, so somebody was saying when I say drugs, they're thinking of cannabis and stuff. So we were saying, you know what? Let's call it what it is: psychedelics. The use of psychedelics, okay, and then we defined what psychedelics, what it is. And I know there's a lot of bad things happening out there that's made it like demonized, but there are also very good things that a lot of us are not aware of. Well, people have found tremendous healing from it, and some countries allow most of these things in a safe environment. Some people preserve their cultures. In South America, they preserve their culture, so you still have like spiritual leaders guiding you, doing it as a community, safe environment, safe way. It depends on ayahuasca being the most common one in those areas, and it goes straight to the problem and just like help you deal with that problem. And I know sometimes we fear some of the things we'll face, but most of us like have childhood trauma. I'm speaking for myself, some trauma that I didn't even know I had. I always thought like, oh, because we have that topic a lot in on this platform, and you just think of how we used to be like beaten or the psychological things that people did. But I didn't know that there was some hidden thing deep there that I just completely forgot about. I decided to like think it never happened, and it was like some sexual abuse. And I thought I was okay, I never thought it bothered me. I never thought about it. I just buried it so deep somewhere. And I was safe. I was happy. I knew I'd forgiven the person. It doesn't bother me. But actually, what I didn't know is that some of these things you have to face them and deal with them and actually acknowledge it, forgive yourself, and forgive that person in a whole new level. In a whole new level with you. And when you're in certain altered states, you don't have the normal control, the normal reasoning, because the normal reasoning is influenced with a lot of things, with a lot of, oh, I can't do this, I can't say this, I can't do that. But that one is on a conscious deep level. Conscious deep level. It's just you and divinity. It's just you and spirituality. Just you and your God. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. But I wasn't coming here and saying, okay, people to do this, people to do that. I know I started using meditation like now, I don't know, 2 or whatever years ago, and I saw how it made me calmer and calmer and calmer, and it changed my life. And some people do believe like meditation is not a good thing, and like hypnosis is one of the deepest ones that you can find to just change your mindset, change your habits, change your patterns. So those are some of those other states that that happen. So yes, Bill, thank you. If you use right on quantity, I don't think it's so bad. Yeah, again, you can't know that. Even if you do your research, it's still really unsafe. And when we hear these incidents where people like jumped out of a window and things like that, it's cause we don't have that information, and then they end up doing it secretly, doing it in the wrong way, and maybe getting in trouble with your government wherever you are. That's why you're saying, you know what? If you're doing it in the right place, right time, right reasons, then why not? If people have found healing without having to go to therapy, going and or kind of healing that therapy never ever managed to give them. Yeah. But otherwise, that was the topic today. I don't know whether you had any put, but for me, I felt lighter, I felt healed, I felt closer to God than ever before, but I've not confessed to anything. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, absolute healing, like divine healing. And you get humbled in a amazing way where like you just realize how much you're nothing to the universe. You're absolutely nothing to the universe. And all these things we surround ourselves with, they're not important. They are not important. They're nice, yes, they're nice to have. They make life whatever, comfortable, fun, amazing, admirable, and stuff. But when time comes, it's just you and your God. All these things don't matter. They don't at all. So yeah, that was the topic today. That was the topic today. And I was saying if we want to talk more about it, maybe a Zoom would be better so that we don't break any rules, platform rules. So yeah, thank you so much for today. Any questions? I'm seeing Bill have already said a good night. Yeah. Thank you guys. I always love doing this. Don't forget we do it every Wednesday. Join us every Wednesday. We've got a YouTube channel. It would be nice if you support it. I don't force people to do anything they're uncomfortable with or what they don't want to do. So it's nice when you support me. I love it and I enjoy it. But for me, yeah, don't ever do anything you're not comfortable doing. Support because you want to. Help your friends because you want to. Let everything come from its purest form. Never like a guilty trip to do it. Oh, because you're my friend and you've not done it. Cool, guys. Good night, good night, good night. Love you. Thank you for being here. I hope you've learned something at least. If you haven't, that's okay. I can only know through your comments or your engagement with me. So I don't mind feedback and improving and stuff like that. So you do let me know. Anywhere you need me to improve, anything you want me to do, I'm happy to do that. Asanteni sana and kwaherini. Good night and God bless you.
Nanzaje Zara Ulikuwa wapi? Niko